Hello and welcome. I'm Stephanie from deliberatelycreative.blogspot.com. I am so excited that you're here. Today I am going to be playing. There have been a few people who have asked me if I would draw something, and I'm doing a month-long doodle days that is being hosted by the awesome YouTuber Poet Spice. Go check her out. I'll put an iCard that will link you to her doodle days. And today I decided I would follow along with one of her prompts. And the prompt is flowing hearts. And I'm trying to think what I'm going to do for flowing hearts. And I'm going to try doing this with just getting a basic sketch done with the pencil first, and then I will play with the pen. As you can see, I changed the paper that I'm using. This is a different sheet of paper, and let me get it focused. There we are. So the first sheet of paper I had was a piece of Yupo, and I realized after the fact that erasing on Yupo doesn't work. Even with a nice plastic eraser, it didn't work. So, I don't know. It might work better with a kneaded eraser. I haven't tried it yet, but that's going to set off to the side and not get used right now. Swirling Hearts is the theme for today, the suggested theme. I haven't done the actual theme any of the days, so this is my first time doing it. And Swirling Hearts means, to me, what I'm hearing in my little head is start with a swirl. So I am starting with a swirl, and I'm going to go in to a heart shape. And then I think I'm going to continue on down and make another heart shape. And then I'm going to come up and make another heart shape. And then I'm going to swing out because I want a bigger heart shape there and a little one there. Let's see. How can I work my way back around? Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll finish this one here like this, and then turn my paper around. Ooh, that's kind of fun. So it started at this point right here and worked its way around and up and down and all the way over, up, around, and then ended with a swirl in here. Now this is a doodle. This is not going to be a finished drawing. This is a doodle. This is a fun little quick draw. I'm hoping to be done in about 10 or 15 minutes. Right now, I'm just using a Pigma Micron pen. Just do a real quick run around these lines, and they are not going to exactly match because I'm looking at it, and there's some lines that I want to refine a little bit. And that is why I do things in pencil first. I'm not doing the official Zentangle, but I'm going to be doing some doodling in here that's sort of like Zentangling. But my first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my first swirl here. And I want to run a second line around. And it's going to go in and out and cross over and be wide in some spots and go narrow and then get wide again. And then it's going to swirl in. Maybe I'll go to the inside of the line, then the outside of the line. Fun thing about this is that it's my own drawing, my own doodle, And nobody can tell me if I'm doing it right or wrong, because it's mine. It's just flowing out of my head. These are flowing hearts. And flowing hearts just go round and round in my little head. So now I've got this double line, and in some spots I'm going to make it a solid line. But I'm going to come out to a certain point, say maybe about here. And I am going to start spreading my line apart just a little bit. And then I'm going to come back in and draw a little more. Let's see if I can get this to focus when I zoom in. Sometimes it will focus and sometimes it won't. That's looking okay. So I'm going to come back over here on this line. And this one I'm going to do as a solid line again. And I'm just coloring it in. I like coloring it in, even though I'm coloring with black. And that's because this doodle is going to be mostly black and white lines. I may see if I can find a red pen, but I doubt it. I doubt it. I think this is going to be just what it's going to be. And I decided I wanted another swirl right there. And I think that this one right here is going to turn into a swirl and just flow around. There we go. Just flow around that little swirl. And then this little swirl here is going to get that same thing again, just flowing around. Ooh, I think I do. I think all of them are going to end up with a swirl. That's part of the fun of doing this yourself and really not having a plan, not being told, put your pen here, draw this there, connect those lines. This is all about fun. This is all about letting your mind sort of do its little thing of wandering. I don't think we let our minds wander enough sometimes. I think some of us get so tangled up in, am I doing it right? Somebody needs to tell me, am I doing it right? And really, no one needs to tell you if you're doing it right. If you like it, you did it right. If you don't like it, you can improve it until you do like it. There's really no wrong. There's whether I like it or not. And that's all that really matters. I think in the long run, we don't do art for other people. We do art for ourselves. And if other people like it, that's a bonus. That is a bonus if other people like the art that we do. We don't have to follow what somebody else wants unless you are doing a commission for someone. But if you're doing a commission for someone, you probably have a few pieces of artwork under your belt. And you know that they know what your art style is. They know what to expect. So I'm going to put some little circles in this side here, I think. And those little tiny triangles next to the circles, I'm going to make black. So those little spaces that you get, when you put two circles next to each other, you get that little space at the top and the bottom right there. And I don't know. Yes, you can see those. You can see those. I get to a certain point with my camera that it doesn't like to focus. So I'm hoping that this is far enough out to focus, close enough in for you to see. That's the hope anyway. So now, what I want to do with this one, I think, is just give it lines. And as I get to this fatter part, for my eye, what I'm going to do is make it make the lines go farther apart. And down here at the narrower end, make the lines closer together. And then as I go around the corner, let's see here, go around that corner, I'm going to make them go tight and then black. That's how I work. I need to make these even closer down here. So they're almost black, but not quite. There we go. That's kind of fun. Now, this side, I think is going to be little X's. And doodling doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to, the things that you do don't have to have names. When you start giving things names, you actually start throwing yourself into the other side of your brain that's not the creative side. It's the side that wants to analyze. It's the side that wants to know exactly what everything is and why it's there and does it have a purpose. So I generally don't name things any farther than like lines closer together and farther apart. I will say circles, and I may say X's or boxes, but otherwise, although I appreciate the Zentangle movement, I guess is what you would call it, the Zentangle process, I'm not a big fan of naming all of the little patterns and having to keep track of them and say, I use this pattern by this person. Patterns have been around for years and years and years, hundreds and thousands of years we've been doing patterns. The human brain is hardwired to see patterns. So doing patterns and then calling them certain things, I mean, it's great for the couple that started it, but, you know, and they found a way to monetize it, make it something that they can earn a living off of it, and that's great. But you can't tell me that a checkerboard pattern is anything other than a checkerboard pattern. My brain just won't take it. It just won't take it. And that's okay. Again, I think that the people who are doing the Zentangle, awesome. And if you are somebody who loves Zentangling, there are so many resources out there. I am really doodling. I am not doing Zentangle. I'm not even doing Zentangle inspired here. This is just my doodles. My doodles. And I'm not doing anything spectacular. I am just having a nice time getting some patterns down that really don't require a lot of thought. So far, I've been able to keep talking. That's kind of interesting. I guess I do I do talk a lot. I do like to use language. I like to build pictures with words. Maybe in another life I was actually a writer or some great speaker. Now, I like visual art. And I'm really enjoying doing the YouTube thing. Yesterday I was going through my blog, and I don't know if any of you have ever even looked at it. I have had a blog since 2008, and I went back to my very first year when I was really being prolific in doing artwork. And I was totally amazed that the things I was doing and was so interested in then, I'm still doing. I'm still interested in them. I sort of fell out of doing my blog for a while, but I'm back. And I'm having a great time. I've been sharing artwork that I've been doing. I'm sharing my, if I have a printable for something, I'm putting the printable on my blog also. I just recently did a PDF on Instructables for a binder. And I got my very first thumbs down. And it was a legitimate thumbs down. It was not, they weren't being snarky or mean. They were just saying, hey, you know, they didn't appreciate having to sign up with Instructables to be able to download the PDF. And I hadn't realized that you had to have a pro membership to download the PDFs. I thought that you just had to have a membership. But because people are telling me that no, indeed, you do need a pro membership account, I do plan on getting the PDF. I need to see if I can put it on my blog or if I'm going to have to put it in Google Docs. But I do have Google Docs, so I can go and post that PDF there. Probably by the time anybody is listening to this, they've probably already made their binder for Cinnamon Cooney's Art Quest that's going on all year. But just in case someone has decided that they want to do the binder, but they don't want to go and download it from Instructables. Now, Instructables is free for the basic membership, and you can even make Instructables too. Even with a basic membership, you don't have to have a pro membership to make Instructables. But I'm going to see if I can get that onto my Google Docs or just right on my blog. I don't think that I can pin a PDF on Pinterest. If I can pin a PDF on Pinterest, I'll put it there too. So what I've been doing here is making sort of, I don't know, crescent shapes, just double lines basically, and then putting little bumps on the top and the bottom of the double line, and it makes it look like there's little rings going around that heart side. And I like that. That's a nice, it's a nice shape, and it makes me happy. It's something I go back to that particular design frequently. But this time, let's see. This one I am going to make big circles. Fill from side to side. filling from side to side. And I'm trying this out on my new, I got a little tabletop drafting board that is on a slant because it makes it a little bit easier to draw on something that's on a slant. All right, and now what I'm going to do is just make some little straight lines. I'm not filling that in black, just filling it in with straight lines. Sort of spread out a little bit. It gives it a little bit of texture. Makes me think that these are actually sitting on top of brushed metal or something like that. This is quite the experience. I have not doodled and talked about it before. But let's see, the last one. What do I want to do? I think I want to carry on some of these colored in rectangles. Let's see, maybe if I start up there and come down. There we go. And I'm not even sure. I haven't looked over to see what I'm even getting on the camera. Oh wow, it's working. That's kind of fun. Okay, so let's see here. Now, I think I'm going to continue those circles on this one. I'm repeating some of my patterns, so it looks like it's got some continuity. And then this one has the straight lines, not all colored in tight, but just, I'll go up here to the top and come down, I think. All right, so now I want to make those little circles look like they have a bit more of dimension. So I'm just going to give them a little dimple. They're all going to get a little dimple. Actually, they're going to get a little smile, and that's going to get colored in. Give them all a little smile. They're happy little dimples around a pretty little heart. I think I'd be a happy dimple if I was around a pretty little heart. That is really kind of silly, isn't it? But that's okay. And now, to add a little bit more depth and dimension, something I like to do is on one side of the heart, circles. One side of the circle, I will make a little bit wider of a dark line. I will just darken one side up just a little bit. And I basically just choose the side I'm going to do and be consistent. You want to be consistent. And then color that in. And just around one side. And what that does is it gives a little more depth, a little more dimension. A little more, a little more, a little more. A little more, a little more. All right. Let's see. Ooh, we're coming up on 24 minutes. Let's see if I can finish this off in 30 minutes total, I guess. So, this one, I need another little line there. And I think that I'm going to put my little my little lines that look like they're going around, sort of like little jump rings going around. And if you color them in black, they look like they're continuous. You leave a space for the heart to be coming through still. But if you color your ring in black, it looks like it's going all the way around, as long as you don't connect the ends of your loop. So it's like a giant open circle with the second open circle around it. So we're going open circle, and even though you can see the heart line right there between those two little lines, when you color it in, it goes away. So circle, circle. Actually, these are more like ellipses. An ellipse is a squish circle. So these are more like ellipses. But since I'm really not talking about those things, and one more. There we go. All right, so now I want to give a little bit more dimension right here on these particular loops. So I think that I'm going to just do little lines on the inside of that curl. Just little lines on the inside of the curl, and work my way around. And by doing that, I'm again giving it more dimension, making it look like it lives in a world where things aren't flat. And then I'm going to do the tiniest little line on the outside, because when things have a highlight along the top and they're rounded, there's a shadow that falls underneath and around. So thinking about things as they go over and under and around. So this one over here, I'm going to do the same thing on the inside. That would be the tighter side. I'll do a little bit longer lines, sort of close together, but not totally black. I want them to be a bit open, but not, I don't know, not so far apart that it looks like little teeth or something like that. And then the tiniest little hit of this pen right around those little edges. And I'm going to do the same over here. Let's get the inside of that line. And this is a really skinny line, so I'm almost making more just teeny tiny little dash lines here. And then on the outside, I'm just going to do dots. You can do tiny little dots. Just tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap, tap. You tap, tap, tap those dots in. All right, so I think my swirling hearts are pretty much done. I think I'm going to put the word love in here, or joy, or oh, actually I think I'm going to do this. Be creative. Okay, so now I'm going to, because I can't leave well enough alone, let's thicken and thin some of these lines. And just give them a little bit of the thick and thin business here. I really don't have a plan on these. This is just what my head and my heart are saying to do. And by doing it really quick, you can see that lettering doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be, you know, totally, oh my gosh, thought out and organized and line up perfectly and, oh, all of those things. No, it doesn't have to do any of those things. It can just be fun. So don't be afraid to do a little bit of lettering. Don't be afraid to put your pen on the paper. You notice I didn't even draw those letters out with my pencil. I just put the pen down and hope for the best. And I think that really and truly, when all is said and done, every time we put our pencil or pen to the paper, we're just hoping for the best. So I'm going to give it a quick erase right here and make sure that that's dry. Give it a quick erase. Erase, erase, erase. And my pencil lines would have erased better if I were doing it, if I were doing this for myself. I would never have done the pencil lines as dark as I did. But I wanted you to be able to see what I was doing. So here we go. So my wish for you is to get out and be creative. If you like this video, please click like, subscribe to my channel so you can see what other interesting things I come up with. And leave me a comment. Let me know what you liked. If you didn't like something, let me know that too. I want to make this better for you. So get out there and be creative.